Cooking a steak on the barbecue can be a really daunting task, but it needn't be. With just a few simple tricks, you can get your steak to the perfect doneness every single time. In this video, I'll show you how easy it can be to perfectly cook your steaks on the barbecue. Today, I'm going to be cooking these Cowboy Steaks from Costco, and a Cowboy Steak is basically a tomahawk steak, but with a slightly trimmed down bone. And this brings me to my first tip, which is get yourself a nice thick steak. Really, the thicker the better. This will allow you to expose it to direct heat for longer. And my next tip is a dry brine. So just cover these steaks in salt. I'm using fine sea salt, but any salt will do. Give them a really good coating. It's very difficult to over salt these. They're big steaks and they can take it. And once they're fully salted, I'm going to put them in the fridge for at least 2 hours. And all that salt will be absorbed into the steak. While those steaks dry brine, it's time to set up the barbecue. I am using my Weber Master Touch and Big K restaurant grade charcoal. Using decent quality charcoal is very important to barbecue, and when it comes to charcoal, like so many things in life, bigger is better, and this Big K comes with massive chunks. Once my chimney starter is full, I'll just light a couple of firelighters underneath it and leave it for about 20-25 minutes, and then it'll be ready to cook with. Other charcoal lighting methods are available, but personally I like this one. It's quick, easy, no messing around. Once the top pieces of charcoal have started to light, it's ready to pour it out. I'm using charcoal baskets, but if you haven't got these, just bank up all your coals on one side, it'll work absolutely fine. All this does is create a hot area for direct heat cooking and a cool area for indirect cooking, and we're going to be using both for this steak cook. I'm going to let this sit for a while to get up to temperature and go and get those steaks out of the fridge. And my next tip I got from Genevieve Taylor on Instagram, and it's a bit of a controversial one. I'm going to cook these steaks directly from the fridge, not have them out on the side to get up to room temperature. In theory, this will give me more cooking time to build up a crust. First off, I'm just going to clean up after my last cook using a scrunched up ball of foil. This is the only thing I do to clean the barbecue. And then straight from the fridge, I'm going to put these steaks on directly over the coals. Have a listen for that satisfying sizzle. And we are going to let them cook for about 30 seconds before flipping them over. This method is called a sear reverse as opposed to a reverse sear, where you're searing it first and then we're going to bring it up to temperature slowly. And I flip every 30 seconds until it gets a nice crust. When you cook like this, the coals are going to get hotter and hotter and you're going to get more flames as all that fat drips down. And once that crust is built up on both sides, you can just brown off the edges, holding them over the fire. These particular steaks don't come with any sort of fat cap, but if they did, now would be a good time to render that down a little bit over the fire. And once those edges are nicely browned, it's time to pull them off the hot section into the cool section and move on to the second part of the cook. Now we've got the crust to where we want it, it's time to get the internal temperature of the steak to where we want it. And I'm going to do this by cooking them indirectly in the cool zone of the barbecue until they reach my desired doneness. I'm going to use my Ninja wireless thermometer to monitor the internal temperature of the steak and the temperature of the barbecue itself. But if you don't have one of these, just check regularly with a handheld probe. Using this method allows you to slowly bring up that internal temperature of the meat so that you can stop it at the exact right time. And I find it slightly lower risk than a traditional reverse sear. I want my steak cooking at about 120 degrees C or around 250 Fahrenheit. And to achieve this, I want to close my vents on my barbecue, top and bottom, to their lowest possible setting. This will restrict the airflow and make the temperature of the barbecue drop. After all that searing, my steaks only reach 23 degrees internal, so we've still got a way to go. Roughly halfway through the cook, I'm just going to flip the steaks over, and this is just to make sure they cook nice and evenly. And then lid back on to finish off. Once they hit an internal temperature of around 48-49 degrees, they're ready to pull. As always, I just want a second opinion on the internal temperature, so I use my handheld probe, which confirms we're around 49 degrees. And they're ready to come off the barbecue and to rest. They're going to rest about 10-15 minutes, and that will raise the internal temperature by a further 4-5 degrees, giving me that rare, medium rare finish which I personally like on my steaks. Obviously, just adjust the temperature for your personal preferences. And if you like them super well done, fine. I think you're ruining your steak, but fine. And I bring these inside to rest on the chopping board, and they're looking absolutely beautiful. Now, steak alone doesn't make a well-balanced meal, so it's time to knock up a few sides. First off, I'm just frying up some chestnut mushrooms with a bit of dill and garlic and butter. Knock up a quick peppercorn sauce, and then do some cheeky roast potatoes in the air fryer. I've cooked these in beef dripping to add to the whole cow theme of the meal. And then nothing beats a good fried egg with your steak. And with all the sides prepped and the steak now well rested, it is time to carve. Now, you don't have to carve a steak, of course, you can just serve as is, but I personally like to have the whole thing carved up when it's on my plate. I start by separating the bone from the steak, and there is some really good meat on this bone, so be sure to help yourself to some of that. My wife is going to have her steak whole, because she is not, and I quote, a toddler that needs their food cut up for them. But for mine, I'm going to slice into roughly centimetre wide strips. And then we are ready to serve. And I'm not going to waste any of those juices, that is all just delicious flavour, so I'll pour it on top. Now, this steak was incredibly easy to cook and has turned out absolutely beautifully. That dry brine has made the flavour of this steak insane all the way through, and the combination of doing the sear reverse and taking directly from the fridge gave me plenty of time to build up an amazing crust. These techniques are not only easy, but they produce reliably consistent results, and will take all the stress out of cooking a steak on the barbecue. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you did and want to help out a small barbecue YouTube channel, then please hit subscribe.